Good morning. Yay! School is over. Guess what didn't happen today? No lunch. Did not have to make any lunch. Woo! That's a celebration for all the moms that have finally hit the summer holidays. Lunch making is over. The merry-go-round of, wrapping the apple and the carrot, put it in the lunch. You come back home at night and you send it back the next day. They come back, send it back. Finally feed it to your spouse and send pizza and cake on Fridays. It's like this continuous going around and around that so many moms have to go through. But now you get to play with your kids at home. And if you are a solopreneur that works from home, that's a whole new dimension now that you got to navigate. It's always a lot of negotiating going on. So I'm super excited today because our guest is Cheryl Anderson, and we're going to talk about Labyrinth. Now, I had never heard of this before, and when she explained to me a few months ago what it was about, I was totally intrigued. So stay tuned because Cheryl is going to tell all about what she does and how sensational it is. But of course, we're going to start with the Women Talk CEO Squared, Nancy Seeger. Good morning, Nancy.
Good morning, everybody.
How are you? Now, you don't have kids in school anymore, do you?
Not unless you consider postgraduate.
Well, that's still kind of school.
But I don't make their lunches anymore, so.
I know. I shouldn't be making my kids lunches. I think they got to become more self-sufficient, but I kind of enjoy it.
When the kids were little, I still made their lunches for a long time. And my sister and I always had that debate because she was one who, no, they need independence. They got to make their own lunches. And I was the mom that was, no, they need nutrition. I got to make it.
Okay, so what we need is like a little gadget. Nancy, get working on that. We need a gadget that will take the healthy food from their lunch bag and shove it in their mouth and then make them chew it.
Good luck with that one.
I know. It's always like, oh my goodness, could it come back anymore? So how's life for you? Like, we've been doing a lot of work behind the scene, haven't we?
Oh, it's so much. And we're testing so many cool new tools and what's going on. And we've got some great speakers lined up for the convention. I see let me read that. Does that say sold out, my dear?
The gold package.
The gold package. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure we didn't have them all sold out.
It's like, no, don't freak out. I haven't just gone crazy on you and signed all these people and not telling you. But that's really cool, right? Because it means that we're going to have some really, really awesome people on stage, aren't we?
Yeah, we're bringing in a couple of really awesome people. And, the details, we're just dotting the I's and crossing the T's before we actually, details are going to be in place before we roll it out to everybody. But those announcements, look for them soon. You'll see them on the website. We'll announce it in the directors. We'll announce it to the members. And you guys just don't want to miss this. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I am meeting with somebody secret today about the opening ceremonies. Because you know me, I do all this funky stuff, right? Like, I love to make people cry. Nothing brings me more joy than to see people cry at my convention. Well, maybe when they laugh.
I'm going to say, not necessarily cry, although that does happen a lot. It's more about to get in touch with their real raw emotions.
Yeah, I love it. I love making people feel big because I'm a big feeler. Like, I'm like super happy.
You're a big everything, Brigitte.
I'm super mad, super happy, super like I get, I go hard. And, I see so many people kind of almost afraid of going hard sometimes. Like, they stay really reserved. And to go to a weekend event where people are really going to make you feel big things, like you just leave there so inspired.
Well, it is definitely a totally different experience, and you couldn't do it without the right tribe. You do have to have the right tribe to do it, and Women Talk has definitely got that covered.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, when I say feel big, it's not about like, oh, poor me, like horrible. Like, it's feel big. Like, our masquerade party people like came out fully decked out, and the disco this year we're having a disco party, like put on the outfits and bust a move on the dance floor.
I can remember those moves.
You just make them up as you go. But okay, so I want to take a moment to tell everybody how absolutely amazed I am with Nancy. Now, I'm a pretty good techie. I have been an entrepreneur my whole life. I love technology. I am on top of a lot of stuff. But Nancy became partner with me. Well, officially, when was that, Nancy? When did we
We signed the papers May 1st.
May 1st, but we've been working together since October. But now Nancy is really going deep into this, including the convention. And oh my God, every day when we have our meetings, first off, I need a nap after, and I never nap. But you are so brilliant. Like, seriously, you are just, your brain works different than most people.
I will agree. My brain definitely works very different. And thank you for all of the kudos. It is really important. Like I said, when we partnered, your brain is that different element that I don't do. That whole splash, building, enthusiasm, dancing on the tables kind of personality.
I dance on the table.
I know you, Brigitte. Mine's okay, if she's dancing on the table, what's the next step? What's going to happen here, right? And I got to connect all the dots.
So, what's really cool is down the road, we are going to be able to teach people how to find a perfect partner. Yep. You are not my first partnership. Nope. In business. I've had other partners, and I'm older now. And when I went into this partnership, I was, fully well aware that we are extremely different, fully aware that we're going to drive each other nuts because we are so different. But then at the same time, like, we watch this happen. Yep. And that is incredible. And it's like, wow, like, you complete me.
Well, my new word this year, thanks to Lori in Okotoks, is magic. Because the two of us together are just friggin' magic. I love watching the dynamics, and I can't do what I do if I couldn't feed off of someone like you. Like, that, it doesn't work the same way with other clients. You need that extra. You need that power and that personality. Those dynamics are just what make it magic. Yeah. So that's my new word for 2019 is magic. We are making magic, baby.
Nice. Well, because Cheryl's going to talk about something pretty magical this morning as well. Look at the segue, eh? Boom. But before we bring her on, I want to talk about a couple of things going on. So, of course, the convention. So you saw the little ad before. So we are sold out for our gold packages, but we still have room for the VIP packages. So that means you get your VIP ticket, you get 20 minutes on stage, you get a table for the whole weekend. Like, you are the core of the event. And why should people talk at convention, Nancy?
Oh, there's so many reasons to talk at convention, but I want to be really clear about a couple things about this. First of all, this is only available to members of Women Talk until June 30th. After that, you can apply right now, but if you are a member, you will get priority placement. After July 1st, we'll look at anybody who's not a member, and then we'll go from there. But the biggest reason to build, or the biggest and fastest way to grow your business. People talk about blogging and YouTube and all these other things. The fastest way to get in front of a...
Sorry, I'm laughing. I have somebody at my feet. It was the cat that I put him outside. Do you want to say hello? Sorry.
Okay, so the fastest way to grow your business is to use other people's audiences, and the fastest way to use them is on stage. And so it is a pay-to-play industry. It's been that way for 15 years, but I can tell you honestly, you want to build your authority, your practice. We all present every day, whether it's convincing your husband to have sex with you or going out into the stores. You're presenting yourself. Okay, not you, maybe your wife, whatever. Me, it's my husband. I got to work hard sometimes.
No, I so agree. And you know what? I've had people talk to me and go, well, why should I pay? Like, that's kind of, but here's the thing. Try putting 150, 200 people in a room for your workshop. First of all, what would that do for you? The amount of money you would make. Now, have you ever put 200 people in a room? Because if you have, then you know why you have to pay. It's extremely hard.
It's extremely hard. But here's the other thing is, for a small business owner, you can pay, as an example, people talk about blogging and posting. Do you know how much, if you had to pay for somebody to do your blogging and posting and you paid $600-700, you might get 6 or 7 articles out of there. 6 or 7 articles without the proper promotion and advertising gets you 0 return. 0. So think about where you put your money to get your money back for your business. And the highest return on your investment is to pay to be on somebody's stage, to tap into somebody else's work and efforts.
Yeah, and I am working on my talk because, Nancy's getting me ready because I'm going to go to other people's stage as well. And we're going to pay to go on other people's stage to bring more new blood to the Women Talk tribe. And that's how you grow a tribe. That's how you fill up your next workshop.
Well, and we have, you haven't yet, but I have paid to be on other stages, and it changes your business exponentially, and how you grow and what you do. So yeah, we'll be training you how to do that. But some of the top line speakers that we're bringing in are also experts at this, and you'll get to see how it's done by a real master.
Yeah, because some people, like Suzanne Evans, we've talked about her before, like that woman makes a boatload of money when she comes to your event. Don't invite her if you want to sell your stuff because she cleans house.
Well, you can't even get somebody like Suzanne to pay to be on your stage unless you are capable of selling regularly $15,000 US a year products to your audience, and unless you have a 30% conversion rate. So getting those big names is a whole push because they're so successful that, and they get so many offers, they want to control the time and where they go. So it's got to be worthwhile for them. And that's where it makes a big difference. But in Women Talk, we start small, like with the events we have coming up next week.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about it. So next week we have Edmonton, and then we have Calgary South.
Woo-hoo.
And oh my gosh. So I don't really know much the other of these, but I know of who's on there?
Cheryl's speaking in Calgary South next week.
Trying to see. Yeah. So Cheryl is a great talker, but we also have another lady along with Cheryl, who, I don't know if you remember this crazy thing that happened at U of C a few years back, where a bunch of university students got killed from a young man that had mental disability, and he killed all these kids with a knife. Her son was part of this. Oh. And she's coming to share her story and her journey. So it's going to be powerful.
So that's going to sell out quickly for Calgary South. So get your tickets now, people. And by the way, Michelle, you better save me a spot.
Yeah, this is Michelle, our co-director at Calgary South. So go buy your ticket. It's going to be an amazing evening. Okay, I think we're ready. Are you ready to bring?
I'm so excited. I want to hear Cheryl.
Let's bring her on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cheryl Anderson.
Good morning.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear us?
Good morning, ladies.
Hey, Cheryl.
I went quiet there for a second. Are you excited about
Happy Friday, no rain, the sun is shining.
Can you hear us?
I can't see Brigitte at all.
I think there's some going on with Cheryl.
Okay. She's dark.
Wait, Cheryl, can you hear us?
I'm just, hold on. I've put her back in, I think. So we're going to try to bring her back because Cheryl is going to talk about the labyrinth. So let's see if we bring her back on.
Again. Hello.
Oh, hi, can you hear us now?
Still dark. I can only hear you, Nancy.
Okay, well, that's cool. So I guess I will interview Cheryl today. We'll have Brigitte bow out and come back in. So how are you this morning? Are you excited?
Oh, I'm so great today. I'm so happy that it's sun shining. And oh, there you are. Morning, Brigitte.
Good.
Yeah, life is good. Life is really good.
So are you excited about Thursday night?
Yes, I am actually. And it's interesting. I was listening to Nancy talk about speaking on stage and how that impacts your business. And it really has changed how I do business for myself personally. It really has. And
tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, how I do the confidence I feel when I'm talking to somebody and the realness that I can bring. I really love to MC. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed that out in Cochrane. And that has really been a piece where I feel more comfortable speaking to people. And I also feel more of an authority around what I do every day. And
you're co-director in Cochrane, by the way. I forgot to say that. Women Talk Cochrane.
Yeah. And so it's really changed how I talk to people, my willingness to, have real conversations and listen in a really deeper way.
Love it. Love it.
Mhm.
Love it. So let's talk about the labyrinth, because that's why you're here. So you mentioned this to me a few months ago, and I was sort of getting it, but not really. And then I was telling you about when I drive my car, I come up, like, that's why I love going on long drive. Like, I drive to Kelowna on my own, and I love it, because that is when the most incredible ideas come to me. And you said, that's exactly what the labyrinth does. So tell us a little bit.
Exactly what it does. Well, it's interesting because there's math, and there's science, and there's wellness, and there's healing all inside a labyrinth. And that's exactly what it does. It stops the left brain from taking over. And that's where we live, 98% of the time. So what happens even when you're driving is you're so busy, your left brain is so busy paying attention to the road and the other people and keeping your car and the signals and, turn left, turn right, drive straight, that your right brain has an opportunity to step in. And that's where your abstract thinking shows up. So it allows yourself, and you get calm, and there's clarity that shows up, and then suddenly you go, oh, I know how to do that, or here's the solution to this problem, or I have this great idea, this epiphany, right?
I like to call them Stephanies.
Pardon me? What's that?
I said I like to call them Stephanies. Ooh,
Stephanie.
I just got a Stephanie.
Okay, well, I could use Stephanie too. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no. So tell me, physically, how does that look like when people come and do your labyrinth walk?
So the labyrinth walk that I have a portable canvas labyrinth. It actually rolls up into a small duffel bag. It's 18 feet in diameter, and I can fit the most I fit on the labyrinth at one time is 20 people at the same time. And because there's only one path in and one path out, there's nothing that you need to do, how to figure it out, because that's what your left brain starts doing. It's like, what do I do? And how fast do I walk? And I'm turning a corner. And what about this person? And that's all metaphor for me on the labyrinth. And right away, your brain starts going, well, what do I do? Do I step off? Do I step? No, I'm going to stand here and they're going to go around me. Well, is that a metaphor and a self-reflection on how you function in the world every day? So are you the person that you look at them and you make them go around you, or do you step off to the side and you let them go first? So all of it is all around self-reflection. So when you're walking inside the labyrinth, what I love about the one that I got it custom made out of the United States. And there's sacred geometry in there too. So when you're walking inside the labyrinth, there's things that start happening because your brain has an opportunity to step out, and you get this really clear insights and self-reflection that goes on. It calms your body. And as you're walking and you get to the middle, there's nothing to do but stand there and think about things that are happening. You have an opportunity to collect your unconscious thoughts. And then you go, okay, well, if that's true, what am I going to use this for? How am I going to use this? It's very easy to detach from your usual busy brain inside the labyrinth.
How did you ever discover this?
It was a forgiveness permissions thing. I was at a convention in Las Vegas, and it was like 5,000 people at this convention, and it was over a period of 10 days. And I was just overwhelmed. And I just thought, you know what, today everybody's in classes. I'm just going to go and walk around the beautiful gardens at this Lowe's Lake, Las Vegas. And I walked to the back of the hotel, and there was this big tent. It looked like a big revival tent. And nobody was around. I walked in and I see this thing on the ground. Again, the place isn't set up. There's nobody around. I'm fully expecting a security guard to come and stop me. And I was like, okay, well, there's nobody here. And as I was walking up to what looked like a big flower on the ground on this big, huge piece of cloth, all that said is take off your shoes before you walked. I had no idea what it was. I went, okay, I'm going to give it a try. So I put everything down, started walking. And by the time I got to the middle, I was feeling so calm, and I didn't have that overwhelm and like too many people around me, too much going on, because it was a lot of information too that we're gathering over a period of 10 days. And I'm standing in the middle, and again, nobody is in this tent. And I guess this tent could probably park like at least 10 to 12 cars in there very easily with lots of space. So it's a huge tent. And I didn't know what to do. So I went, well, okay, well, there's only one way out. So I started walking out from the middle of what I thought was a big flower puzzle. And by the time I got out, I was feeling great. Like I had energy. I was feeling calm. I was inspired. I didn't feel like I had too much information. Like, you know, sometimes when you're in a workshop and it's like, okay, too much input, I need to just chill out a little bit. Usually that involves a glass of wine for me.
Me too.
Yeah. Bottle of red wine will do me just fine. Yeah. So that was my first experience. And then I went into this, they had a big expo trade show after, and I found the woman whose Labyrinth was there, and her name is Eve Hogan, and she's on Maui actually. And I said, hey, I saw this in a tent out back. And she was like, that's for next week. You shouldn't have been in there. I was like, well, I got to walk your labyrinth. And that was the start of like, there's something in here. It was so easy to get into that space. There was no forcing, because it, you know, in the past for me, if I had to meditate, it's like, forget it. That's not a sprinkle glass in my eyes before I can sit quiet for 20 minutes without my brain going into checklists and what do I have to do tomorrow? And, oh, I got to answer that email and whatever else is going on. So that was the start of my experience of I need to find this. And then when I found the company that actually makes these canvas labyrinths, it was like, this is perfect. Last summer, I used to lay it out in the parks and just let people come and walk. And that's what I'm going to do again this summer.
Awesome. Oh, Brigitte, we can't hear you.
We lost you.
Sorry. I said, do you have any dates that you've picked?
No, actually, I'm going to do like that whole announce it a couple of days ahead of time on Facebook and on my website. I'm just going to whatever calls me to put it down. And there are some rules and regulations in the parks, like South Glenmore Park. They want you to have a permit. I'm trying to convince them that I'm not selling anything. It's just going to be out. So I'm working with them right now. And it's really about getting
I thought for sure you would just go and lay it down and then go. What?
I did last year. Now they're like, lady.
I can only do it so many times.
I can only do that so many times. And well, what's cool about that is most people don't even know what it is. Society of people that know where they are. And there's free ones around the city, but this is more about just like have an experience, come and walk. You know, I really enjoy, and that's, you know, that's the combination that's happened between last year and this year is being a part of Women Talk and learning how to talk on stage and feeling that confidence and understanding who I am allows me to just be present while they're walking and hold space for them. And if they want to come and talk to me, great. And if they don't, great. I have no vested interest in whichever direction you decide to go. It's about them having an experience where they can just accept everything that goes on inside the labyrinth. There's no instruction. You either walk or you don't. Done.
Nice.
Do you ever have people kind of chicken out part way or get too much information?
Yeah. I've had one person,
I know a few people I think that would happen to.
You know what was very interesting about that? I had one person in a small workshop that I was doing walk. So usually we set an intention before we walk. What is it you want to gain clarity on or insights or whatever? And she started walking, and the challenge was she didn't want to walk with other people. And so I was like, okay, well, just think about how that shows up in your life.
I was going to say, that's a pretty interesting statement in people's lives.
Yeah. So, and that it is all about self-reflection. So she was willing. So she's like, okay, fine, I'll walk. And she started walking. She got to the middle. She stopped. I could tell that she was extremely uncomfortable. And she just walked off.
Yeah.
Just walked off. And okay, that was fine. And you know what was grateful? I was so grateful is she actually stayed until everybody else was done.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
So, you know, there's a process that I help people walk through to gain some of that insight and self-reflection. So my question to her is, where else in your world have you just walked out?
Yeah.
Where else in your world that you wanted to be alone, but yet people around you are impacting you maybe in a positive way? And she's just like, this is my life. I do this. I leave all the time when things get tough. So that little piece of her walking out, because some of the other ladies are afterwards, they asked me, well, wasn't that disrespectful? And I was like, no, because it's your own journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me.
So
And
do
then
you,
I'm asking you, is like, are you being in judgment of other people and how they walk in life?
Yeah, that's her choice, right? Like it's,
Exactly.
I'm just thinking, I've never done it and I want to do it. And I'm thinking, what would I be doing? And I know I'd be like, hi, how are you? What's your story? It's like, shut up.
yeah, you and I couldn't walk it at the same time.
I always want to talk to
would
people.
challenge you, Bridget. You might be very surprised what shows up.
Oh, I
Every
am going to
time.
do it. I am going to do it this summer.
Every
That's
time.
on my bucket list.
Yeah.
I can tell you what'll show up, Cheryl. She'll have 57 ideas for me to implement by the time she gets to the middle.
Nancy is like, don't you dare let her walk that labyrinth.
She'll come out with like this plethora of stuff. She has no choice.
Oh my God. Did you have any other question about the labyrinth, Nancy?
Yeah, so I had a question for Cheryl. So in your Soul Trek business, do you work with people on getting more in touch with themselves after the labyrinth and after like coming into alignment with who and owning their value? Because what you work on and the process you take them through is so pivotal to that.
Mm-hmm. I do, actually. That's a big part of what I really enjoy doing, because it's about them understanding what goes on inside of them. So I call it shadow self. So you get an opportunity to look at that shadow side and understand how that works with you every day, because it's not about getting rid of that.
No, you never get rid of it.
It's about embracing it. So really owning that piece and really understanding, like I'm really big about your inner knowing. Like, so understanding what it feels like when I have a question for myself and I think about that, answering or finding that answer is really inside your body. It's not in here. Nothing new is up here. Nothing. Everything new is out there.
That's so true. But every habit is up here.
Exactly, right? So it's where is it our opportunity where we escape? Where is the opportunity where I can actually draw in and lean into the places where I find that are good for me? And so I help women really understand, mainly women, really understand what that feels like in their body, because it is a physicalness of tapping into that inner knowing. And, you know, sometimes deep fear comes up. Soul Trek, I'm also an energy worker, a light worker. So sometimes it's about helping moving the energy in the body too.
Awesome.
It's self-discovery and growth. It really is. And I really enjoy working with women that are open to understanding what's going on for themselves. I'm not giving them anything.
Lovely. All right. We are out of town. Well, we are going to be out of town, most of us, very soon. We are out of time. Now, are you going to be emceeing the July event in Cochrane?
I am. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Awesome.
And that is the second Tuesday of the month. I don't have the date handy. And then you are talking at Calgary South next week. And you're just fabulous.
I love Carolee out there. She's awesome.
I know. So if people want to find out more about the Labyrinth Walk or every fabulous things you do, they can find you. We have the website down in the comments.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
It's soultrek.me. And there's the Labyrinth link on there as well. And thank you for sharing your information.
Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate it. And just so everybody knows, is I will be posting on my website and the Facebook group a couple of days before, because it also depends on the weather too, right? If it's too wet, we can't walk. Just pop-ups of where I'm going to set the labyrinth up. And it's usually going to be in the morning, because I noticed that if the sun is too hot, it's a little bit of a faster walk because it's a little hot. So, but yeah, please come out and join me.
All right. So if you want to make sure that you see the post about the Labyrinth Walk, why don't you join our contest and all of the Facebook groups that you can be part of? This way, you're going to make sure that you can see any event that Cheryl will be doing. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
That was a fabulous interview, and I'm putting it on my bucket list this summer. I'm doing a walk.
Yes, please.
And see if I can be quiet for the whole time.
Well, I have duct tape in my bag. It's okay.
We might need it.
I got duct tape.
That's the reason why I created Women Talk. All right, ladies. Thank you.
Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.